So yesterday I was going over how we as a society or just as people don't talk about sex, and it's become almost like this taboo thing. And I feel like there are circles of people that talk about it, but a lot of it's like institutions have made it, bad. It's like, oh, we don't talk about this because it's bad. Certain religions tend to, veer it in that direction. I feel like pornography has kind of been a lot of people's like education on how to do it, which is like so, in my opinion, so fundamentally wrong, because it's like an industry built by predominantly males, and it doesn't, it's just the sex, it's just the act of it, right? And since it's, I feel like, been built by a predominantly male industry, just the acts within the pornography industry, I feel like, are very much driven towards like the male, I don't, desires, I guess, or the male idea of like what is good in the bedroom. And I don't think it's always, representative of what a female would particularly want or like in the bedroom. And yeah, it's a TV screen, right? So you're seeing it projected on the TV screen, but you can't feel the emotions. You can't yeah, it's like this alternate reality of what you're seeing. And then I don't know, I just feel like it's not deep enough, right? It's not teaching you the layers of everything that's actually happening underneath all the physical physical act of having sex. And a couple things I thought about today, or that came up, was that, just like how you feel about yourself, like, start there. How do you feel about yourself? And I'm not talking about like confidence or things like that. I'm talking about like these places, or I feel like some of it's like learned. Well, a lot of it's learned as we're growing up, is like this feeling of like self-esteem, like, am I enough? And really, tuning into that feeling, that yeah, that emotion, that feeling in your body. Because if you don't feel like you're enough, and then you take that feeling into the bedroom, what's gonna come out of that? Like, I feel like a lot of performance comes out of these sexual acts, because we're not feeling, we're not necessarily being in the moment with ourselves and the other person. It's almost like we feel this need to perform and be somebody else, or ignore like these feelings we have in our own persona, to just, get to the get to the grand O. And just what I've been learning lately is like, there's so many layers and there's so much more to this. And it's not like, that's not like, the O is great and it's amazing, and having an orgasm is super amazing, but it's not like the ultimate goal. Like there's so much more in the middle that can be experienced, that can lead A, to a great orgasm, or B, just like be enough that you don't even necessarily, like, how do I say this? Because I mean, yes, like everyone wants to achieve orgasm. But that's another thing, is like we've made it this thing you have to achieve. You have to perform. You have to, you're not successful if you don't get to the O. And I was thinking about those words, achieve and successful, and how they've become a part of the conversation of sex, because people say like, oh, well, did you achieve orgasm? Like yeah, you went on this grand mission, and did you accomplish the mission? Leaving out all the other stuff that is like so important in the middle. It's like, it's not a performance. It's not something you set out on this hero's journey and like slay all the dragons just to get to the top of the mountain. Like, I guess, yeah, using that more metaphor in some ways, yeah, you are, but I think slaying the dragons is like actually becoming more in tune with yourself and your body, and again, like your desires. What do you desire? What do you want? What do you don't want? Feeling like you are enough, feeling like, you don't have to put on this performance in order for achieving this finale. Yeah, this is one of those subjects, like, you don't realize it until you start talking about it with other people or like reading about it. I've been doing some reading, and there's so much more to it, especially if you want to really have like meaningful, purposeful experiences with yourself and with other people. Not just in the bedroom, but like in life, having meaningful, pleasurable experiences with your friends, just at a restaurant, enjoying, there's a lot of things that I think hold us back, that are also things that hold us back in the bedroom. Like I was saying, like the whole, am I enough? Feeling separate. We talked about this today, and it was feeling fundamentally separate, and how I thought of it was like, I've been in relationships before where I was with someone for years, but like almost daily I felt very alone. And it's because we weren't connecting on a intimate level or spiritual level or even the intellectual level. I feel like we were just kind of, at a certain point, we just kind of became roommates. And we weren't connecting at all. And so, there was no when you're in a relationship like that, you feel very lonely and you feel very separate from everything that's going on. You don't feel, again, the connection. And that can be so lonely that you're like, why am I even in this relationship if I'm just gonna feel alone anyway? If I'm gonna feel alone, I might as well be alone. And the other one we talked about today was, sorry, I'm just checking my notes. Oh, repeating the same pattern over and over and over again. And this one hit me hard because I've done that. And not just in romantic relationships. I've done it in work relationships. I've done it in friendships where I just keep repeating this same pattern over and over again, where I date, someone who I'm not connecting with, and I feel alone in the relationship. And then I get out of that one, and then I date someone new, and then all of a sudden I'm feeling super alone in that relationship. And or, my communicating isn't, like, I'm communicating, but maybe I need to change my pattern of communication to actually have that connection. And or I'm just not, I just wasn't dating, or I just wasn't working for people who appreciated me for exactly who I am. And so I think at a certain point I started performing to be, the best girlfriend or the best employee, and it cost me a lot. So yeah, I know I kind of jumped around in all of that, but it all comes back to talking about sex and being able to connect first, first and foremost, just having a connection with someone. And some of the most prominent places to find like sex, like in porn, you're not seeing the connection, you're not feeling a connection. And I think it's something we need to work on as a society, as a culture, is that we need to find that connection again and work on ourselves so that we aren't repeating the same patterns in relationships. We're having conversations so that we're not feeling lonely inside those relationships. We're making sure we're working on ourselves so that we feel like we are enough, not only in our relationships, but just in life in general, so that we can have these connections, so that we can have these relationships, so that if it's a romantic relationship, we can have this great sex and these great orgasms, and on and on and on and on. So it's wild because it's all connected, it's all connected. It's not just this one thing. It's like this web of millions of things that create this beautiful, amazing life that can be so pleasurable and desirable. So that's my meanderings for today. Thanks for listening to my story, and I'll see you tomorrow.